Hi everyone, Gaz here. Welcome to my channel, Growing Up as a Trap. And today we're following in my love of karting. I've been involved in the local kart championship down at South Coast Karting for a few years now. And today we're here on round 2 of this year's championship. Please enjoy the journey. What you got to say about that race, Gav?
Rookie error, should know better.
Yeah. You should be going the other way, shouldn't you?
Forward.
Forward, yeah.
Yeah, I was going reverse.
Yeah. Never mind, Gav. Always next race, isn't it? So I came into this one after round 1, lying 4th in the championship table. Managed to qualify 2nd on the grid for the first heat. So off we go in a second with hopefully a good finishing result for heat 1. And we're off. Got a good start, managed to maintain 2nd place. All the boys bunched up behind. We've got Joe there. Mark Williamson behind him. I think that's Lewis. Callum. I think Josh is some way back at the moment, who's probably my main contender this year, I think. So yeah, there's Joe there on my tail, quite tight at the moment. In the meanwhile, Carl Watts has got off to a flyer. He's nowhere to be seen and maintains first all the way through this heat 1. Yeah, I'm defending quite quickly here from Joe, which has given Lewis a chance to close up with Callum. I think there's Josh in the background there. Round 6, closing up the gap. So with me defending initially, it's meant they've all closed up as well, but managed to maintain 2nd quite comfortably, I'd say. So as per my channel, Growing Up's a Trap, if you never tried karting, it's one of the greatest ways to stay in touch with your inner child. Gives you a chance to race against some good guys, bit of competition. I love it. Got a background in various competitions, motocross, a bit of water sports, that kind of thing, but you can't beat a bit of competition, and it just gives you a real release from your everyday stuff. And great fun, highly recommend it. So yeah, as you can see, I'm maintaining 2nd reasonably comfortably here. Put out a little bit of a gap on Joe. Lewis is doing pretty well in 4th there. They're all bunching up in the back, as you can see, with Josh taking Callum there. So Josh is making a little bit of a charge through the field. He'll be gutted to see me up ahead of him, no doubt. Not that he'll admit that, of course. There's Lewis trying to make a move on Callum. Sorry, Joe. Callum's behind. And there's Josh trying to make a move on Lewis. Very close, those two. Some would say they're having some kind of sexual relationship, but I'm not so sure. Wouldn't be surprised, to be honest. So there you can see Carl up ahead. He's got a clear lead in all of us. No catching him. Pretty rapid. He's just coming to do a one-off round there, and then ended up doing a clean sweep, the bugger. So yeah, I'm maintaining 2nd. Meanwhile, Lewis coming under pressure from Josh. Callum. There's Joe there trying to make a sneaky move on me, which I think he loses out to Josh here and everybody there. No, not quite. Josh managed to get past Lewis, I think, there. So that means now Josh is up into 4th, where Joe's going to come under some pressure from Josh, if I remember quite soon. So pretty much the position maintains like so, while Joe is having to defend against Josh now. I've maintained, or I should open up a bit of a gap now while they're fighting. There's a move. Josh just pulled on Joe there, so that takes him up to 3rd. And he starts to close the gap in on me. If you never had a chance to go up to South Coast Karting down in Bournemouth at Herne Airport, great little track run by family of racers, so they know what they're talking about when it comes to racing. If you've never had a chance to get up there, pay your money and have a great time. Now managed, the assistant manager of Martin, who used to race with us, great guy. Meanwhile, back to this heat, here's Josh closing up the gap on myself. I'm all the while and know he's there, and I'll do everything I can to make sure he doesn't get past. Fairly, of course. I quite enjoy defending. It's equal part of racing, much to the annoyance of people behind. And this is where, if I remember, Josh tries to make an audacious move on the outside of the chicane, and as you can see there, I had the racing line at the inside corner, took the apex. He should have backed out. He ends up coming off far worse, going into the tyre wall. Wasn't very happy about that, but there you go. He tried it on a couple of other people and got away with it, but when he tries it on someone who knows what they're doing, he came off far worse. Which, like I say, I know he wasn't too happy about it, but hopefully he'll learn from that and realise when a move's on or it's not on, and that definitely wasn't on. Cost him a lot of places. There you go. I don't give in easily. So as you can see now, there's quite a gap between myself and 3rd. Pretty much that's how it stayed till the end of this heat. So I'll just let you follow that. There's nothing much else to tell you for now, other than if you enjoy the content, please think about subscribing to my channel. I'd like to grow it. Give us a like, share. Any comments or any questions you got on karting or anything else for that matter, place a comment below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Enjoy the rest of this heat, and then we'll be moving on to heat 2. So taking the checker flag coming up, finished second, happy with that, great result. And we're going straight into heat 2, so I start on the grid in second place. Good place to start, but that's as good as it gets, as you'll soon see. So once again we've got Carl on pole, myself on second, Callum I think was on third, Mark was on third I think, and Joe on fourth. So off we go. Straight away off the bat I managed to lose 2 places and a very slow kart off the line. Callum came straight through and Mark straight through. By the time I got down the end of the back straight I lost another place to Joe. So I lost 3 places within the first 3 corners. At the back there's a lot of bumping going on. We've got Nick there, Lewis, Josh, AD, all having a bit of a bargy. So I'm now down to I think I got Joe back actually, so I'm now down to 4th at this stage from second. So yeah, we've got Lewis behind us, followed by Joe, followed by Josh. Mark and Caleb are flying off from the front, struggling to keep up with it at this stage. Got Lewis bearing down on me. Now later on you'll see Josh and Lewis decide to have a little bit of a rough go at me for what they felt was revenge, shall we say, from the first heat due to me protecting the line against Josh. But we'll see on that in a second, you'll see. So there's Lewis, pretty close up my rear, followed by Josh and Nick. So at this stage I'm still fairly tight on the back of Mark and Caleb, who are both in second and third, and myself in fourth. There's Lewis, Nick, Josh having a right old tussle. Lewis holding off, there's a bit of a bump there from Josh, taking his teammate out somewhat, I'd say. Now we've got Josh here, put me onto the grass there. Pretty rough pass, I would say. He's got the inside line on there, so obviously I'll let him go there. Allowed Lewis through as well, so I've now dropped 2 places, so I'm now down in 6th, I believe. And we've got Nick and AD having a tussle behind me. So in this particular heat, I'm basically, as you see, going backwards so far. Nick's managed to get past AD. And this is the one where Nick's in a faster car and his view afterwards that I should have just let him by because he was clearly in a faster car. Well, Nick, as I said at the time, I don't agree in racing that way. Just because you've got a faster car doesn't mean I'm automatically letting you by. You've got to work your way by me. So Nick was trying everything to get around me, using the curbs, some would say quite excessively on occasions, using the grass more like. Anyway, he got past, barely getting past. So I've now dropped another 2 places, so I think I'm down in 8th at this stage. And that was pretty much where I stayed, if I recall. That is behind me at the moment. Nick had a penalty for, I think it was a bad pass on 80, so I've got past Nick again at this stage. He'll soon be coming back. So there's Nick there behind me now with, sure who that is, number 12. Gets a little bit bumpy between me and Nick coming up, if I recall. As I said, wasn't too happy about the pits afterwards, but that's racing. He feels I should have given him more real occasions. In fairness, there was one place where I did squeeze him on the corner, which is coming up, and I got a penalty for that, which was fair enough. He also tried to put me in the tyres, which was a deliberate move, which I don't agree with racing in that way. Certainly none of my moves are ever deliberate, but occasionally, obviously we'll get it wrong. So Nick is constantly trying to get by me here, trying to do outside moves on the chicane, which hasn't paid off so far. And this is where, as I said earlier, he's getting a bit frustrated because he has got a faster car, but it doesn't mean I'm just going to let you by. Defending is part of racing as well, and it's just frustrating when you can't get by, but you've got to earn that right to get by, not just because you're in a quicker car. Now, I think this is here where I did squeeze him on the grass a bit. Make it in next lap. Yeah, it's not past yet, I think it's coming up still. As I said at the time, Nick, in the bits, I did apologise for that. Although you didn't take it very well, I know, but there you go. We move on, don't we? Race another day. As you can see, he's getting quite frustrated, bless him. As we all would in those circumstances. It's never enjoyable not being able to get by, but that's all part of racing. So again, he's trying to get on the outside of me, finish chicane. No, you're not going to get by me there, Nick. Not sure what happened there with the editing, but yeah, we carry on. Using every part of the track trying to get by me, Nick, aren't you? Not yet, my friend. No, still not going to get around me there. And of course, that's causing they're all back up, and we've now got Cole in the background there, about to lap us all. He's just flying. I don't think he mentioned to anyone that he won all races that night, did he? If he didn't, just let everyone know he did win all races. There's Nick through. He's happy at last. I'm not. I'm going backwards. yeah, as you can see now, as I said, it wasn't a quick car. He was pulling away from me now. Nothing I can do about that. And here's Cole coming up to lap me, the bugger. Not very often I get that these days, but occasionally when you're stuck mid-lap in the battles, the race leader's got away, it can happen. That's happening. And that was my last lap. End of that heat 2, coming in a lowly 8th. Not great. Could have been worse, I suppose. We move on to the final. So here we are lining up for the final. There's Eddie behind me, obviously happy to see me, waving to me. Alright, Eddie. Really happy to see me, waving an awful lot. Always good to see you, Eddie. So we're lining up for the final with my 2 heat positions of 2nd and 8th. It means I'm 4th on the grid for the final. We've got Mark in 2nd, Carl again in 1st, Caleb in 3rd. Great result for Caleb. And we've got Josh in 5th, and bum chum Lewis behind me in 6th. So that's going to get interesting. So far, a mixed bag of results. 2nd, qualifying 2nd, 2nd in heat 1, 8th in heat 2 from 2nd place. So going backwards. And we're starting on 4th in the final. Once again, unfortunately, I ended up going backwards, but not quite as bad as 2nd heat. So, ready for lights. We're now under the floodlights. As you can see, it's a bit darker. The GoPros don't work quite so well in the dark, but it's still a reasonable picture. I hope you enjoy the racing so far. Reds are on. Green, and it's go. Once again, bit of a slow car off the line. I remember Josh takes me straight away, so I'm already lost 1 place, straight down to 5th. And we've got Lewis there right behind me with Haley behind him. So as it stands, it's Carl 1st, Mark 2nd, Caden 3rd, Josh 4th, South 5th, and Lewis trying his best to take me a bit from behind. Right now it's 80, actually Haley's taking Lewis, and that is Dan I think, behind Haley. He's doing his best to work his way around me. As always, I'm not going to give my place to anybody easily. Defend for your life, that's the way to race. So as I said earlier, if you never tried karting, it's a great way to keep yourself young. We may never make it as F1 drivers, but we can at least pretend. And I'm 55 now, going on 18, regularly beating these youngsters, which they love, especially Josh. He must be, what, 19 now? Just out of the nappies, but he loves getting beat by an old man like me. So anyway, there's AD, still trying his best to get by me. I'm not letting him through. Yeah, anyway. Something great about racing under floodlights. It's a great setup, as I said earlier, South Coast. Fantastic track, well run by races for races, and the championship especially. Couldn't ask for a better setup. They do for us and the like. As much as we probably cause them a pain in the arse at times, you know, because we're all friends off the track. There's Amy getting a bit peed. Yeah, I think I get penalised for that because I think I did squeeze her if I remember. So I should have let him, I think it was there anyway, we'll see. I should have let him by and I ended up getting a penalty on the back straight. He's giving it the old one hand off the steering wheel gesture, that's always. That's a trademark. Here we go, I think there you go, I get a penalty there, slowed down. Janie goes through and I end up losing 2 places there because of that. Joe gets back through. Yeah, I should have let Ailey back through as he knows. I did apologise to him, but he waved his hands around all he likes, so. So now I'm down in 7th place, I think, at this stage. I've got Joe in front of me, so I've got my visor on quite a bit because we're dealing with a bit of rain here, which was making it a little bit slippery. It wasn't heavy rain, but enough to make it slippery conditions, which is always fun. Racing wet conditions on slick tyres it's great fun, to be honest. So yeah, so I'm working on getting my position back from Joe to minimise the damage for the night. Say get my position back from Joe at the moment. He's pulling away from me slightly, but we'll soon pull that back. Meanwhile, I think that's Nick behind me, closing me down. That's me closing the gap on Joe again. Turn is closing Amy down now, I think. Really enjoying nicely. It's either this lap or next lap. I think I make a nice move on him on the chicane if I recall. We'll soon see. I say Nick was closing me down, I don't think he was actually. He's quite gap. Mistake there by Joe. That's why I took him there actually. So there's Joe losing that position to me, which puts me back up into 6th. As much as Joe tried, I'm pretty sure that's where we'll finish. We'll see. Seen a while. I remember Nick was closing. Nick was closing Joe down. I think it gets quite close in here. Let's see. I can't remember, but this is a while ago. This round, a month ago. I've been a bit late getting these videos put together. So we've already done round 3, which I will show you that one when I put it together. well, there's quite a gap between myself and fifth, which was 80. Joe keeping up with me there, doing his best to take me back, I guess, but that wasn't happening, was it, Joe? Not that race. Closing down 80 again now. Not as deliberate, we're kind of working together a bit, although Joe is trying to make a move occasionally, but we're somewhat working together, which is helping a little bit as we close down 80. Well, if I'm not mistaken, there he is, there's Nick in the background, rapidly closing in on the back of both of us. Here he comes. I see, he came from nowhere there, he's on a rapid car. Joe's immediately under pressure from him. Keep Joe busy whilst I maintain my 6th place. Nick making a move on Joe. Joe's not having that. He takes him back. Nice move again, Joe. He wasn't caving in easy there. Fair play. Much to Nick's frustration, obviously. I think Nick will get his own back eventually. Again is one of the main rivals for the championship this year, I'd say, but at the moment he's had a few poor results. Made a pass on Joe there on the outside of the chicane, which is a rare place in the pass. So now I've got to contend with Nick. So we're back to Nick's favourite position, trying to get past me defending all the while, much to his frustration. So we're getting a few bumps from behind. Nick let me know he's there. That won't round me. The more he bumps, the more I defend. Or anyone bumps, the more I defend. we go. That's the checkered result. So that's me finishing 6th. So I had a 6th, an 8th and a 2nd. All in all, not a bad night racing. It took me from 4th in the championship up to 2nd, so I'm in 2nd place now as we go into round 3. Great racing by everybody as always, and well done to the winners, which were, first place we had Carl, second place we had Mark Williamson, and third we had Josh. Well done boys. Catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching, and as I said earlier, remember, if you like what I'm doing on my channel, give me a like, give me a subscribe, give me a share, click on the old notification bell and you'll be notified when I put up any new videos. Thanks for now.